Welcome to today's Storycrafter. This story is called Roxy in the Magic Forest, and it goes like this. Roxy looked out of her window, and she realized it was a very fine afternoon. It seemed warm and sunny outside, and Roxy thought that her stuffed cat could use some exercise. You know why? Because the cat had been a little lazy lately. Oh, just lying around Roxy's bed and not doing much. So Roxy grabbed the cat and off they went to the woods. And oh, the woods, they were so beautiful that day. The sunshine was coming through and the forest was full of beautiful colors. When Roxy was walking, she went out on the main road into a small clearing, and there she saw a sleeping unicorn mare. Roxy was so surprised that she didn't dare to speak a word. She knew that unicorns are really shy and didn't want to scare her off. But then she realized that the poor unicorn was not sleeping well. Tons of little bugs were climbing on top of her, and there were some flying ones that went zzz and landed on the unicorn's nose. So Roxy went and really carefully and quietly sat down by the unicorn and spent quite a bit of time picking up bugs and scaring bugs off so that the unicorn could sleep peacefully. When the unicorn woke up, she was ever so grateful because she had been really tired and she needed her sleep. To say thanks, the unicorn took Roxy for a wild ride in the forest. It was a wonderful ride. Roxy had never ever gotten onto a horse. Imagine a unicorn. She was so happy. It was the happiest day in her life. And the unicorn even took her to a fairy party. There was tons of fairies and lots of music and with fairy instruments and food. Lots of food. Roxy knew, because she read a lot of fairy tales, that fairy food can be upsetting to humans. So she was really careful. But the unicorn went and ate 6 muffins in no time. And then she went on. But soon the unicorn started feeling funny. Her skin became itchy and her legs started swelling. The fairies, they didn't put much attention to it. They were so used to magical things happening that they thought, well, the unicorn is turning into a dragon. And they continued the party. But Roxy looked at the unicorn and said, look, I think you're having an allergic reaction. Are you allergic to food? Do you have your medicine, your EpiPen with you? And the unicorn remembered that she was indeed allergic to food, some foods, but she had completely forgotten her medicine. That's what happens with unicorns. They are so forgetful. I am forgetful sometimes too. Anyway, when the fairies realized that this was a serious situation, by then the poor unicorn was having trouble to breathe. they called the fairy nurse, and the fairy nurse went and landed right away, bringing the medicine. And then she looked at the unicorn and freaked out because she had never ever had to put a shot on somebody. Those things do not happen in the magical world very often. Fairies do not really get sick so often. So Roxy went, I am a big girl. I am a brave girl. I am a powerful girl. I can do this. And she hugged her stuffed cat for courage and handed the cat to the unicorn so that the unicorn would get courage too. And then she took the unicorn's leg and delivered the epidural. The unicorn went plop because it hurt a little bit, but just a little bit. And right away the unicorn started feeling better. She could breathe again, and her paws and legs started shrinking down. They were not swollen anymore. Wow! Now the unicorn was really grateful because first Roxy had saved her now, and now she had saved her life. They became really good friends after that, and Roxy had her mom make a small special backpack for the unicorn so that it could take her medicine everywhere. To this day, if you go to that forest during magical evenings such as that one, you can see a little unicorn and a girl riding, and they go across the forest. Sometimes, when the moonlight shines through the branches of the trees, they can even go dancing with the fairies. I hope you liked that story. I did too. Don't forget that the whole illustrated version and the educational pack with activities is available in the links down below. And if you would consider becoming a patron for just $1 a month, you will have access to all this before everybody else, and you will make possible that I bring these materials and these stories to children in hospitals and at social risk. Please do consider it, subscribe if you like the story, and right now I'm just promoting myself. So have a really nice evening. Let's hope to see each other next month. Bye!